Weather-wise, it may be a beautiful day across the Gulf Coast today, but over the next 24 hours, this will be drastically changing. An upper level low that is currently over Arizona will prove to be wild with what it will bring to the table. As the low moves eastward over tonight, Gulf moisture will begin to stream into Texas, something that can already be seen happening as we speak. A surface low over Texas will form about 50 miles inland and will be rapidly deepening as it moves eastward toward Houston and eventually Lake Charles. Any spot to the south of this low will have high potential of a dangerous severe weather event. But exactly how far northward will the surface low make it? What are the impacts from this system? Hello everyone, my name is Hayden the Weatherman, and this video will address the potential of a dangerous severe weather event over the course of Tuesday, January 24th. To begin, let's take a look at the general threats in place. Taking a look at the latest Storm Prediction Center Outlook, we see a couple of things. First off, we have two different areas of an enhanced risk for tornadoes and wind damage. The first one is located along the Texas coast, and the other one is for southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and the western Florida panhandle. Breaking our risks down, both enhanced areas see a 10% hatched area of tornadoes. This represents a 10% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. The hatched area also indicates a 10% chance of a significant tornado, that being one that is greater than EF2 within 25 miles of a point. If we move to the wind damage threat, we see that the eastern part of the enhanced is the one that has the 30% chance of wind damage, that also being within 25 miles of a point. Hail will be a lesser threat, however, along the lower Texas coast, there is a 15% chance of hail. Taking a look at the latest HRRR, we'll notice that currently it is pretty dry, but as we go throughout, we'll notice that continued moistening. As we get to sunrise on Tuesday, we'll notice that 60-degree dew points are already past Corpus Christi, and by Brownsville, we're near the middle 60s in dew points. Over the course of the day, this will continue. Once we get to midday on Tuesday, we'll notice that the surface low becomes more discernible. South of the low, dew points near 70 along the coast. As we continue, the moisture gets stronger as the low moves to the northeast. As we move towards sunset, the surface low should be somewhere just north of Lake Charles. As we continue forward, the cold front will pass New Orleans about at midnight. In Mobile, Alabama, the low will be passing about 3 o'clock in the morning. As the surface low deepens, winds will begin to scream out of the south, with winds on land gusting to near 40 to 50 miles an hour. This will encourage the rapid return flow and moisture flow that we see on the model. Now the current product shown is CAPE, or the energy in the atmosphere. In order to get storms, you need as high of energy values as possible. In some instances, lower values will do, but in this instance, we do not have low values, at least along the lower Texas coast. Up to 2,000 joules per kilogram will be possible in this area, and that'll be plenty enough for our storms in this area. However, as we go eastward, the energy values become a huge problem. Notice that as we get near Lake Charles, we lose most of the energy, with values falling to 500. Continuing eastward, as we get toward New Orleans, the values begin to ramp up a little bit more, but they only get up to about 800. While these K values are marginal, in this environment there should be enough to get surface-based storms, which are the storms that will produce our severe weather. In fact, these energy values are the main reason that there is a split in the enhanced risk in Texas and Louisiana. Due to these energy values not being as high, there's general uncertainty that a severe weather risk will exist, hence only the slight risk compared to enhanced east and west. As we continue eastward throughout the night, CAPE tends to become less and less of a problem until we get into sunrise. By this point, the severe risk will be over mostly, except for along the Florida panhandle. However, to understand why this severe event has historic potential, we need to look at our kinematics, or our wind shear values in the atmosphere. This is the 18Z NAM, or the latest NAM that is current to this time. 18Z represents 12 o'clock noon. What you see depicted on the model is exactly what we saw over Arizona currently, the upper level low. As we move over the next 24 hours, this low will dive southward and begin to create our severe weather event. These are our mid-level winds. In a severe situation, you want these to be as high as possible. Throughout the entire severe risk, wind speeds in the mid-levels of about 90 to 100 knots will be possible. In miles per hour, that translates to about 105 to 115 miles an hour. What turns out to be more impressive though are our low-level wind speeds with the low-level jet. Again, you tend to want these as high as possible. As we start the day, we notice that our low-level jet significantly strengthens as we move eastward. Over the severe risk, low-level jet wind speeds of up to 70 to 80 knots are possible across this area. That corresponds to 80 to 90 miles an hour. This is where this severe risk steps up from other ones. As a degreed meteorologist in the National Weather Service office in Mobile said, this kind of low-level jet is beyond bonkers. For those who don't believe me or think that it's just hype, I'm not kidding. Here it is right here. The bottom line is, these shear values will not at all be a problem. In fact, a large side effect of the low-level jet being so strong is that surface winds will also be strong. In fact, the Weather Service offices in Lake Charles, New Orleans, and in Mobile have all issued high wind watches and warnings already. The potential, 30 to 40 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts up to 50 miles an hour expected. These winds are outside of thunderstorms before they even occur. These winds could cause a hassle before the severe weather even gets here. Switching gears back to the HRRR to get simulated reflectivity, we get this. Now this is a model depiction for 8 a.m. on Tuesday. You can pretty clearly see our upper level low that is just about to enter Texas at this time frame. Out ahead of it, showers and storms are forming, although these are all north of the warm front. As we go throughout, our surface low begins to force a line to form across Texas. As this line progresses, it gets stronger and stronger. Out ahead of this line, in the small warm sector that we have, notice how supercells are developing ahead of the line. These supercells could be the catalyst for strong tornadoes. The line itself will mostly be capable of damaging winds, although tornadoes will probably be capable in the line as well. As we move eastward, supercells continue to form ahead of the line. As we get into central Louisiana, the line will still be strong as ever. Continuing eastward, supercells are still possible ahead of the line, as this is by 9 p.m. Continuing eastward, the line continues to get stronger and stronger before eventually developing into supercells as the HRRR depicts. And by here, we are at the end of Tuesday. To recap, there are multiple things to be wary of. Tomorrow morning across the Gulf Coast will probably feel pretty pleasant to you, and you might think that nothing is going to happen today. However, this is completely expected. Do not let your guard down because of that. Due to the dynamics in place, we are looking at a high potential for a severe weather event tomorrow. This severe weather outbreak could be historic along the Gulf Coast, as shear values like this haven't been seen in 4 years. As shear values haven't been seen across this area specifically in a long time. For eastern portions of the risk, this will be a nighttime threat. Have a way to get warnings in the nighttime. This will be a quick threat. The warm front and the cold front will pass within 6 hours of each other. That will be the time for severe weather. With all that said, be safe, have a way to get warnings, and know where your safe place is. If you have not already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as we'll be doing a live stream during this event tomorrow. I hope to see all of y'all in my next video or stream. Thanks for watching.